Hello fellow brawlers, I'm KairosTime, and it is time to brawl. Today we've got a special guest on the channel, none other than Coach Cory himself. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for having me on, Kairos.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, today we're going to be doing a special video for you. We're going to rank and put all of the brawlers into tier lists for the Robo Rumble that's coming up here very soon, so that you do not waste any tickets playing around with brawlers that you do not need, that just aren't that great. In my channel today, we're going to be covering the brawlers that you might want to avoid playing, and then on Cory's channel, we're going to be covering the best brawlers to select.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So before we get into that though, I did want to let you guys know that there is going to be an update coming sometime early next week for Brawl Stars. It is going to be changing some core aspects of some different things. So for example, tickets are no longer going to expire. So you're going to get tickets in those Brawl boxes. You can decide to spend them on Robo Rumble or Boss Fight or whatever. It doesn't matter. They won't expire. You can save them for your favorite game mode. Another important thing that's coming is that coin boosters are being removed from the shop, so you will not be able to purchase them. Now, one thing that is important to realize is that coin doublers are now going to be dropping twice as much, so this is a much better for the free-to-play player. Basically this is going to be replacing those boosters that are in there. This is kind of a big change for a lot of different reasons, but I think it's going to end up having a positive influence on the game overall, because there is there's a big influx of gold coming into the economy right now with these special events, Boss Fight. I keep calling it Boss Brawl, right?
Yeah, it's confusing.
And then the Robo Rumble. Another exciting change. Crow is getting somewhat of a nerf. Now, we don't have any details on that today, and there are going to be some other balance changes coming in the future. So make sure you stay tuned to both of our channels so that you can get the update on that as soon as we're allowed to give that to you. Cool. So first of all, let's talk about these brawlers. We're going to start down with the F tier. Very down at the bottom, you've got these melee brawlers. Okay, you've got Mortis and El Primo. They just really do not do very well in this in Robo Rumble. It's so easy for these troops to try and to get rid of them. They just deal so much damage, and to avoid that damage, I mean, every movement counts in this game mode. Every little bit of damage onto you counts, and so those melee guys, they just struggle.
Yeah, I think in Robo Rumble, you can have a lot of different brawlers do well early on, but at the late stages, is when it gets really hard. They do a lot of damage per shot, and they have a lot of health. So those melee guys, they just struggle they have to be close to be able to deal damage, and then they're really easy to hit once they're close. And then the thing in Robo Rumble is it takes 10 seconds to respawn, so once you die, it's like a really big negative compared to other game modes.
It's a huge disadvantage for your team. It really is. I mean, sometimes you can be doing really well, and then one person makes a mistake, they're out, and then your teammates just struggle. They just get taken out. So,
You're sitting there watching, please survive, I'm coming back soon.
Just give me 10 seconds, and then it's done. It's awful. So, El Primo and Mortis, down at the very bottom, F tier.
Yeah, and then right after that, we got Bull, and then Piper. So Piper just doesn't able to deal a lot of damage. She's a great, 1v1 killer, but these guys, they just end up with so much health, and her reload's so slow. She's not able to deal damage fast enough. That's really her problem.
Yeah, it really is rough. And then you also have characters like Bull and Daryl. They do have to get in really close. They can output a ton of damage if you're close, but similar to those other melee brawlers, you get too close and they're just going to get rid of you and deal too much damage to you. So that's our F tier. Next is C tier. These are brawlers that are fair. You can play them if you really want to. There are definitely better options for you to mess around with.
Yeah, so starting at the bottom, we have Poco, and then Nita right after that. Both of these guys just don't do a lot of damage fast. They're not bad. They have some area damage, but most of the time, you're really only going to be able to hit two robots max. So the damage output never really gets that high.
Absolutely. One thing that is important to realize is that Nita's bear, she does a pretty okay job at taking care of bots like that aren't the big main boss boss bot. The boss bots, they are rough. He wrecks through the bears so quickly, and so there's a little bit of distraction value there with Nita, but ultimately later on into the rounds, as there are more bots on the map, the bear just really does struggle things, and so that's why Nita, I do think, deserves that C tier along with Poco.
Yeah, right. That bear just dies so quickly later on.
Next, we do have Bo. Now, Bo is one of those brawlers. He's really good at kind of like harassing people 1v1 or even in a group of people. He's really good at keeping his distance and things like that, but his damage output is lacking a little bit in comparison to some other brawlers. His super does a good job at, because you can position it where you need it to be. You know the pathing of the boss and stuff, but ultimately that doesn't deal enough damage to enough bots to really make a big impact on the game.
Right. Yeah, these C tier guys, they're not bad. They have some good qualities, and then they have some just okay qualities. So like Bo, they're not quite a lot of damage. The mines, are useful in that they can trip people up, but that's about it. And then after that, Brock is sort of similar, has decent damage, not great reload speed, doesn't deal a lot of area damage. His super is definitely good, can help any grouped up brawlers or grouped up robots, but besides that, it's just not enough damage overall.
Absolutely. I think that Brock is very similar to Piper in the fact that low reload speed just really is a struggle, but his super does definitely distinguish him between Piper and puts him into that C tier because it's so good at clearing so many bots at once.
Exactly.
Okay guys, so now we're going to be talking about the B tier. These are brawlers that are good. You can play them. They might actually be decent in combination with other brawlers if you are missing like a specific type of role that you need in your 3-man team, but alone they are a little bit rough, especially if you're going to be going on with just doing this with randoms and stuff, but still, once again, there are better brawlers for this game mode.
Yeah, so at the bottom is Pam. Pam doesn't deal much damage, that's really where she struggles, but her healing is actually pretty good. What you'll find is you'll have a lot of your teammates get injured, and then you really need them to heal up, because otherwise you have that 10-second respawn death penalty, so Pam helps negate that some, but later on is where she really struggles because of the damage.
Very true. And I think that one thing that is good to realize with Pam is the fact that she can put that turret down, and that turret does do a pretty good job at distracting some of the bots. Sometimes,
that's true, good point.
Sometimes all you really need is you just need a couple more seconds to distract the bots away from your safe so that they're not attacking that. And that turret definitely does help with the added support it does. But Pam does struggle to deal a lot of damage to the brawlers or to the bots, and that's a really big part of this game. If you want to last long, you have to be able to get rid of bots very quickly. Yep. And unless she's really close to the bot, that's just not going to happen with Pam. And if you are too close, then she's definitely going to take too much damage.
Exactly. Yeah, damage is king.
It really is. So next we have Tara. Tara or Tara. I think you call her Tara. I call her Tara.
I probably switch, to be honest.
Yeah, you go back and forth, like just depending on your mood, right? Yeah. So next we have Tara. She's an interesting one. She does pretty good job burst damage, kind of up close to the boss. She does have that penetration, so she can affect multiple bots, and she does have that super that does pull a lot of bots together, and in combination with other brawlers, that can be really strong. But left alone or as an individual brawler, she does seem to a little bit struggle. There are brawlers that hit harder and can clear bots a little bit faster than Tara does, and so that's why I think that she's in the B tier. She's good, but there are better options.
Exactly, yeah, she's definitely pretty good. She just has a little slow reload. I think that's where she struggles. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then Dynamite. Dynamite's definitely pretty good. He does a good amount of damage with his Dynamite sticks. His super can hit multiple robots. It can stop the boss attack, can interrupt it. Where he really struggles is versus those really fast mouse robots. It's really hard for him to hit them. And they just come right for him, and he really can't avoid them. He has to rely on his teammates to really kill those for him a lot of the times.
He really does. And when I was first trying to play Dynamite against those little fast, I don't know if they're mouse bots.
I
think they were called mouse bots. They were called that on Brawl Talk, so that's what everybody calls them.
That's true.
But now that I think about it, I don't know if they even look like mice, but that's what I call them too. So he really struggles against them. At first I was like, okay, I just got to practice throwing down my Dynamite sticks in different places, but they just chase you down. Mike really struggles against them. And like you said, I think you said it perfectly. He really has to rely on his teammates to help get rid of those. And you're going to have better compositions if you have brawlers that can all be good in different situations, which is why I think Dynamite deserves a good spot in the B tier.
Right.
Next we have Crow. Crow is top of the B tier. He's pretty decent. The problem with Crow, although he does a great job at, you know, debuffing and then also continually adding pressure onto those bots, he just doesn't have enough burst damage. Even with his super, if he's going to use his super to get some burst damage, he has to get really, really close, and he just struggles. He does have his agility, which does help him a lot to avoid different shots and things like that. He's good at surviving, but that damage output really is key when it comes to this game mode.
Yeah, I know some people were thinking, you know, okay, with Crow, I can run around, I can distract them, I can drag them across the map, and, you know, just sort of, maybe I'm not killing them right away, but it's okay. Well, if you don't kill them fast enough, other robots do come, so the strategy's not quite the best later on. That happened to me in a video. I did the same thing, and then the boss was still alive, and there were other robots, so I was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to get rid of that boss fast. I mean, if you don't get rid of him, then you were screwed.
Yeah, a lot of pressure.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you want to check out the best brawlers, make sure you go onto Coach Cory's. We're going to be doing the same thing, or his channel. We're going to be doing the same thing on his channel as well, going over the A tier and the S tier brawlers for Robo Rumble that you're going to want to play so that you can maximize all of the rewards for your tickets that you've worked so hard to earn. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. For now, this is KairosTime
And Coach Cory.
ticking by, and we will see you in the arena.